a wonderful speaker here, and he's going to talk about the leadership, how leadership style can emphasize on guidance, collaboration, and development. Now, what do I tell about this speaker? He has a vast experience of 21 years in agile, consulting, coaching, and mentoring. He is SPC, PMP, and his domain currently is agile coach in automobile sector. Please help me welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and please help me welcome Ashutosh Bhatawadekar. And today he's going to talk about commanding to coaching.
So I'm going to talk about how the leadership style of a project manager has evolved over the years. So the purpose of this session is to walk you through some of the leadership styles. Again, my personal belief is there is no right or a wrong leadership style. It is entirely contextual decision what you have to take. But the intent of this is to walk you through the leadership styles. And yes, I mean, as you can see the topic name, right? Commanding to coaching. I think we hear a lot nowadays, right? That a leader has to be more like a coach. A leader has to be more like a facilitator or a mentor, right? So that's essentially the topic of my discussion today. What according to you is leadership? Can anyone tell what is leadership? How do you define leadership? The standard definition of leadership is what is coming up there. Ability of an individual or a group to influence and guide followers or members or other members of an organization. Nowhere it is written that I have to be a CEO to be a leader. Even the junior most person in the team can play the role of a leader. Okay, ability, right? The ability of an individual or a group of individuals to influence and guide followers or other members of an organization. That is what we call it as a definition of leadership. Unfortunately, we have got into that notion that only if I have got a KBN, if I am a CEO of a company, I can be a leader. I think that is one of the first myths we need to break, or that is one of the first thing what we need to keep out of this equation, right? That anyone can be a leader in that organization, in that business unit, at that work what has been assigned to you. I think anyone can be a leader. I'm sure you would have played a lot of these management games, right? And one of the very popular games I'm sure you would have played is that if as a group you're stuck on an island and these are the 20 elements out of which you have to pick up only 10, which one will you pick, right? I mean, that very classic management game, what is there. And if you see in those groups, leaders emerges, right? Even within that small exercise, what we do, you can clearly see that one person picks up that leadership mantle and starts working towards it, right? So that is what is the leader's objective, right? Not necessarily someone who's nominated, not necessarily someone who's elected, okay, not necessarily someone who's selected. It's about the role what you pick up, right? At a particular situation, what is the role what you pick up is a leadership. And so let us try to understand, as a project manager, how much percentage of time you give for, let us say, planning, how much percentage of time you think you do for executing and monitoring and controlling, and how much time you think you do for coaching. Can you just rough numbers, if you can just let me know roughly what are the numbers what you think you do. This is for you as an individual. As a project manager, how much, let's say 100% is the time available, how much time you keep for planning, how much time you keep for, let's say, executing, monitoring and controlling. I'm going by that strict 5 process groups of standard PMI 6th edition. And how much time, I have introduced a new term, coaching. How much time do you keep for coaching? Anyone would like to share these numbers? 30% planning, okay. 20% is coaching, okay, interesting. And the rest is monitoring and controlling. Anyone else with different numbers? Okay, can we have my numbers, please? This was my number when I was doing project management. Only 10%, that too I have tried to pull it somewhere to 10%, okay? Only 10% I was doing coaching and mentoring. Majority of my time went into executing, monitoring, controlling, and 25% in planning. So out of 100% of my time, nearly, if you see, 90% I was as a project manager. This is what my numbers are. Okay, so I am actually starting my journey from here, from commanding to coaching. That's the name of the topic. I'm starting my journey from here. Again, why this is because, you know, right? I mean, the leadership style which I was following was typically a command and control leadership style. Okay, there's nothing wrong in a command and control leadership style, but it has got its own limitations. The focus was more on outputs vis-a-vis outcomes. Okay, so when I retrospectively look as a role of a project manager, the focus was more on output. Okay, this is a task which has to be done, let me complete it. Okay, somehow let the team complete it, right? And then we will move ahead, right? The vision was short term. Okay, I was not looking at the big picture, what was there. So that's the persona with which I start my talk. And let us try to first understand what are the various leadership styles which are used in the project management world. Okay, any animal lovers here, by the way? Anyone associated with PETA or anyone here? Because I'm going to represent this in an animal, that's a very neutral figure I could take. I thought of putting some very famous celebrities, but I decided not to do it in a public forum. So you will see a lot of images of cat there, okay, different types of cats. Okay, so cat lovers, please pardon me if any of the image offends you, but I thought that that will be a safe bet to go ahead with. Okay, so let us understand some leadership styles. And again, I'm repeating, there is no right or a wrong leadership style, okay, however severe, but yes, definitely it's a journey to moving towards a coaching leadership style is a journey what you will have to go ahead. Okay, so the first leadership style we are going to talk about, yeah, the first and yeah, you can skip these two slides, I'll come to these a little later. You can skip these two slides. Okay, the first leadership style I'm going to talk about is an autocratic leadership style. Is it bad? Is it good? What do you think? In this country, we accuse a leader of being autocratic. No names taken. It is situation based. By the way, if you look at group decision making techniques in PMP, there is a mention of this. I mean, I'm putting my hat as a PMP trainer here when I'm giving this example, and I always ask this question in my PMP batch, that how can autocratic or dictatorial leadership style be a group decision making technique? Can anyone tell me how can this be a group decision making technique? Autocrat hai और group decision कहाँ से हो गया? Anyone? हाँ, so that is not a group decision making technique. नहीं, वो तो enforce कर रहा हूँ मैं. Manipulating, interesting. Okay. That's a very strong word, by the way, manipulating. Okay. Okay, so one thing we need to understand is why I say autocratic decision making is bad, is not bad, is because imagine you have a team of inexperienced people with you and they are not able to arrive at a conclusion. It is a leader who has to take the decision on behalf of the team. Okay, the leader takes the decision on behalf of the team. Okay, that's why it is called as a group decision. That decision might be wrong, that decision might be right. That will be a group decision making technique, what we say. Okay. An autocratic leader is not someone ki suddenly subah aake ye bol diya. Definitely the inputs are taken, but this person takes the decision. I mean, the face value of that decision goes to that person, right? And that is where we make a mistake. But it is a group decision making technique, as I said. Even in the official PMP slides, it is mentioned that it's a group decision making technique. And obviously, strong command and control leadership style is what you see. Again, I'm saying it's not bad. Having command and control leadership style is not bad at all, but it's one person taking that decision for the entire group. Okay, yeah, can we please have a look at the bureaucratic one? Yeah, some very interesting things as a hierarchy, right? As I said, defined as a system of management that follows a hierarchy where official duties are fixed. And as we said, you have to follow some rules. By the way, do we apply this technique in our work, by the way, even though we are not in government? Do we apply? कब अप्लाई करते हैं? समटाइम्स कब अप्लाई करते हैं? जस्ट सोचो कब अप्लाई करते हैं? हाँ, जब बंदा रिजाइन करता है तब आ जाता है ये सब. 60-day notice period, 90-day notice period. You also know it is not correct. वो बंदा क्या काम करेगा? वो मोटिवेटेड ही नहीं है, फिर भी आप बोलते हैं नहीं 90 days रुका उसको. Right? We don't release him early. That is the best example of a bureaucratic leadership style. We also apply it. That is what I'm trying to tell. We don't apply it in our project, but we definitely apply it in when कुछ especially during notice period, right? Your key team member has resigned, नहीं इसको रख लेते हैं थोड़े दिन और. And 90 days तो है ही HR का, right? I'm not violating any rules, right? But we strictly go by that, right? So that is a bureaucratic leadership style. It is based on rules created by the organization, by government. It is basically related to a bureaucratic style. Okay, let's see the next one. Laissez faire. Any idea what is this? मेरे पास मत आओ, मैंने सब तुम्हें अथॉरिटी दे दिया, क्यों मेरे पास आ रहे हो? Why are you wasting my time? मैंने बता दिया ना उस दिन, हाथ खड़े कर दिए, सारे हाथ खड़े कर दिए. Okay, so basically, as I said, hands-off decision making. This is called hands-off decision making. It is put under the cover of 100% delegation, but there's a difference between delegation and this leadership style. Here, as a leader, I'm avoiding my team members. I'm actually avoiding them. कि मेरे पास क्यों आ रहे हैं, मुझे और कुछ काम करना है. I mean, such a leader you will find he has got time for everything other than his own project, his or her own project. Okay, he might be doing some and again nothing bad in that by the way, but project पे ध्यान नहीं है. Okay, मैंने दे दिया तुमको delegation, you do it, right? You do whatever you want, right? And why are you troubling me? I told you that day, right? That you are the leader now. You do whatever decisions it takes. कोई problem होता है तो फिर देख लेंगे बाद में. But you are the leader now. You only take it up, right? The problem with this leadership style is that if things go wrong, this person will try to find a scapegoat. This person is definitely going to catch and find a scapegoat कि तुम्हारी वजह से हुआ, right? मैं तो था ही नहीं meeting में. I was not there in the meeting, so how can you blame me? And I had already told that you are the leader, right? So you take decisions in the interest of the project, right? So that is the laissez-faire leadership style, and that's why that cat is there. Okay, okay, no micromanagement or involvement. Such leaders don't give too much instruction or guidance. That is another problem. Okay, allow their employees to use their creativity, resources and experience to help them meet their goals. Okay, that is a laissez-faire leadership style. Attitude of trust, अगर वो positive side होता है तो, as I said, every leadership style has got a positive and a negative side. Yeah, we'll go to the next one. Transformational leader. What is this picture telling you? Of course, there are different interpretations of this picture, but what is this picture telling you? The cat actually is thinking herself to be the tiger, right? That is the transformation leadership style. And many times we see transformational leaders in the making in our day-to-day life who have completely disrupted the business. Okay, the way traditional businesses were operating, they have completely transformed the way the businesses have been operating, right? Like what Amazon did to the Walmarts and the DMarts of the world, right? They completely transformed, right? Today I don't even have to go outside and look for grocery. It comes at my house, right? Or for that matter, even if I forget my wallet at home, okay, I need not worry. I need not worry. As long as I have my smartphone with me, I can do a payment. I mean, that's a transformational leader, someone who disrupts the entire business. Someone who actually challenges the status quo of a business and disrupts it, right? And that's why they say, right, yesterday was a success, but today we don't know whether my business will survive or not. Only businesses which have done that transformation have remained over the years, right? I mean, the kind of transformation they have brought in. Okay, can we have some note on the transformational leader? As I said, a visionary, a game changer, out-of-box thinker, right? And someone who disrupts the industry, someone who encourages innovation and creativity, and someone who's an inspiration to the outside world. So that kind of a leader is a transformational leader, what we have. Okay, let's go to the next one, and let us try to understand this as we go along. Yeah, charismatic leader. Any idea? What is charismatic leader? Who's a leader who comes out with very charming and a very, very knowledgeable personality. Dr. Kiran Majumdar-Shaw probably can fit into the corporate world there, right? Or Mohandas Pai, right? I mean, these are examples of a charismatic leader. They come with a very, very charming personality. They come out, they articulate well. They are a known person on their subject. So that kind of a leadership style is what we call as a charismatic leadership style. Even in your workplace, you will find such people. You'll find such people who are like go-to people, right? I mean, you love to spend time with them. You love to have a discussion with them. They might not be in your project. They might not be in your business unit, but you love to spend time with them. Is a kind of a charismatic leadership style. Yeah, can we have information? Yeah, leader who uses his or her communication style, persuasiveness, and charm to influence others. It's a good quality to have, by the way. Okay, and again, a misconception that you have to be the best Mr. India or Miss India for this. No. I mean, the way you speak, the way you articulate is what brings out that charisma, right? That is what brings out the charisma into it, right? So that is a charismatic leadership style, what we have, right? And we do have a lot of examples of this in the political world, business world, even in your teams. Just try to look around. There might be someone who's a charismatic leader who's there. Okay, let's move ahead. Yeah, this is very interesting. Servant leadership. Now, have you heard this term? So what is this, by the way? Someone who's an impediment remover, someone who's going to remove the roadblocks, someone who will walk the extra mile and fight for the team. That kind of a leadership style is a servant leadership style. Someone who works for promoting the well-being of his or her team members. Now, there's a corporate servant leader also in India, by the way. Okay, and it is he has written a book also, Vineet Nair from HCL. I think someone is there from HCL. I mean, ex-CEO of HCL. He actually is a classic example of servant leadership, what we say, right? He went with the philosophy of employees first, customers second. Normally we say customer is the king, right? We'll do whatever it takes to benefit the customer. But he went with the philosophy employees first, customer second, with the philosophy that if you take care of your employees, they will automatically take care of your customers. That kind of a leadership style is a servant leadership style what we have. Okay, let's move ahead. Yeah, now comes the coaching leadership style, and this is where I will spend some time. So what according to you is coaching all about? The first fundamental principle of coaching is that if you need coaching from me as a coach, I am not going to give you answer. Remember that. Answer आप ही से आएगा. I will ask questions and you will answer those questions, and from those answers you will come to know कि ये solution हो सकता है problem का. Okay, it doesn't mean that I'm not knowledgeable. Okay, but what coaching means is that you have to the fundamental premise of coaching is you have answers to your own problems. I'm just going to facilitate that conversation. When I'm working with you, I'm going to ask some open-ended questions through which those answers will come out. Yeah, let's see what exactly is the definition of coaching. Leader believes that his or her team members have got answers to their problem. Leaders' main motive here is, our job is to coach, facilitate, and make coaches think towards problem solving rather than solving the problem. So one mistake we make is we think that the coach will have answers to my problem. Mentor will have answers to your problem, but not coach. You can go to the next slide. And yeah, now what I have tried to do is, I think we all know this risk heat map, right? I think we would have used this risk impact heat map, right? I've tried to put these leaderships across these quadrants, okay? And I've tried to depict what are those different leadership styles which are there, okay? So if you look at it, on x-axis we have the guidance. Okay, by the way, guidance and training are two different things, okay? How much guidance I'm giving to my team, and on y-axis is how much of delegation which I'm giving to my team, right? Low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. Okay, and I've tried to put these 9 leadership styles in this. Okay, now if you look at these leadership styles, which are there, obviously, if you see the one which are on this side, okay, the one which are on this side and at the bottom side, they are a little better one, like servant leadership, charismatic, transformational, coaching. Those are a little better, I would say. I'm not saying that you don't have to be a bureaucratic or a command and control or a laissez-faire, but if you want to really get the best out of your team, if you really have to make sure that the team actually performs well, then you have to basically move more towards the right hand side, more in that zone of transformational servant leadership and coaching style. Because if you see in these leadership styles, the one which are definitely in pink and red color, okay, what you normally see is that there's there's low guidance which is given by the leader. Okay, it's basically a decision which you take, which might work in some cases, as I said. Again, I'm not debating that, but predominantly you cannot take that decision. Okay, predominantly you cannot take those leadership styles. It has to be a shift right strategy where it is more about transformational, charismatic, servant, and leadership. This is a box where you will have to go into. Those are the 4 boxes where you'll have to eventually mold into and take your leadership style. It's a journey again. So if you ask me when it will be done, I have no answer for that. Some people can do it in 3 months, some people can move there in an year's time frame, because obviously there the delegation level is medium to high. Okay, now you might argue, why not laissez-faire? The problem with laissez-faire is, although the delegation level is high, the guidance you as a leader provide is very, very low, as we discussed, right? And that's where that it leads into a problem. Yeah, we have a time for Q&A. I'll take up the question at that point if you don't mind, if that's okay. Can I take the question in the Q&A? Okay, right? So that is why we say that this box, this leadership in a box model, what I have tried to craft, it is more on the right hand side. Yeah, we'll just come back to this a little later. You can just move ahead. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about coaching. And yeah, you can just put it. So a coaching basically is something like this, that coach guides you to look at your own wristwatch and find out the time. Okay, that is what is the mantra of coaching, right? So if you ask me what is the time, answer, if you have a wristwatch, can you just look at the wristwatch and can you just identify what time it is, right? Or can you just try to recollect how the time has to be measured? Yeah, you can go next. You can just open the entire slide up. Yeah, so that's the role of a coach, what we have. That is what is a coach going to do. Coach is going to help you uncover your problem areas. Okay, and good coaches always believe that the individuals have got answers to their own problems. Okay, now let me show you the graph when I moved into a coaching style, what changed. Okay, so we can just go to the next slide. This is what happened with me. So today even when I'm managing a project, this is a picture what I see, the persona of a project manager who has picked up a coaching style. If you see, very less time I spend on planning. Does that mean that the team spends less time on planning? No. It's a proper delegation what I have done, right? I do very less executing, monitoring and controlling. Does it mean that we don't do that? No. It is my time as a leader, as a coach. It is more on coaching the teams. That is where most of my time goes in. And obviously it's a journey, as I said, from a command and control to a servant leadership style. That's a journey which I have transitioned through. The focus is more on outcomes. The focus is more on long-term vision, what is there. So on that note, let me conclude this talk. Thank you very much. And it was wonderful interacting with this audience. And thanks a lot. Please connect with me on social media for any further discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful indeed to revisit these styles, isn't it? सबको याद आया कि हम भूल रहे हैं leadership styles. So it is time for us as project managers to take a pause, think about which leadership style is working the best, isn't it? Do you agree, everyone? Thank you very much, sir. I would once again like to invite you for giving the certificate. Shubham, can I have you here? Please.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next slide, please. We now have some chapter announcements. Shubham, can we have some chapter announcements, please?
Hello, I hope I'm audible. Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone. What a wonderful session, Ashutosh. Thank you so much for bringing a lot of memories starting from class 9 back to us, and I'm sure everybody enjoyed. We just want to make a couple of quick chapter announcements. Bhushan, if you can put on the next slide. So, with the starting of new year 2023 as well as the financial year from April, the new team is here in front of you from the program side. So, whatever going to happen in the next 11 months, I want to tell you that these are the people who will be working very hard to make all these events successful and learning for all of you. So, we look forward to see you all and more people in the upcoming seminars. And we have some of these people also right now with us. If you can come on the stage very quickly. So if you have any queries, during the introduction, I heard that we have so much of diverse experience in the crowd. And if anybody is interested to be a speaker, please feel free to reach out to any one of us. And we'll be happy to have you as one of the speakers with us. Thank you. Okay, moving ahead, we have some announcements from the volunteer team as well. So I would request Priyanka to come up.
Good morning, everybody. I hope I am audible. Yeah. So, good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for coming today this morning. And can I have slide? I have slide. I think I have this one. Yeah, fine. So, I'm volunteering VP starting from this 1st of April, right? And I want to invite all of you, whoever are interested in volunteering with our chapter, PMI Pune, Deccan India chapter. There are many advantages of working with us as volunteers. So along with your day job, you can have you can develop your skills, not in your primary skill, maybe something else that you would want to explore. You can have work experience. You can have you can learn many different leadership styles that Ashutosh has just explained. You can have experience with soft skills, and yes, definitely some of you are interested in paid use, so you will also get them. So can I go to next slide, please? So this is a QR code you can scan, and if you are interested in volunteering with us, you can just scan it. You can fill in your details. What are the interest areas that you are looking for? We have many open positions because, as Shubham mentioned, we have recently started with new board and all the portfolios that our chapter has, and everybody is looking for some volunteers. So right from graphic designer, video editor, we have open positions. So there might be things that interest you. So you can scan this and you can fill in your details. I'll reach out to you. And there is one more. If maybe you're not interested in filling your details, you can join this volunteering aspirants group. This is the WhatsApp group, and I'll be posting all the open positions that are coming from different portfolios here, and you can see what interest you. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyanka. just to add on what Priyanka said, we have a lot of groups for the people who are PMI Pune chapter, and I hope you all are part of those groups. If not, then please feel free to reach out to us. There's a lot happening. Those groups are not just for the sake of there. We do a lot of things and activities. Anuradha is sitting there. She conducts kind of poll on the group every day. So she's sitting in the back, raising her hand. So she's doing a great job day by day posting questions, and which is helping for the upcoming project managers or the people who are already working. So if you are a Pune chapter member and you are not part of that group, feel free to reach out to any of the volunteers or the VP team members, and we'll be happy to have you as part of that. One last announcement from the marketing team, training team. So there is one training coming up, which will be first time Pune chapter is conducting a training outside Pune. So either that training will be in Goa or Mahabaleshwar, and the tentative dates around this will be 3, 4th and 5th of May. I think it's a long weekend because of the Maharashtra Day. So you will get email around it. You don't have to remember anything as of now. You will get email from the marketing team. Just make sure you don't have a filter that automatic delete of the email coming from PMI. So look out for that email communication, and if you are interested, you should register for it and join that. And I'm sure it will be a great learning opportunity for all of you. Thank you. So Harshit, over to you.
Next slide, please. There you go. These are some of the benefits as mentioned on this slide. You can find some job opportunities. We have seminars like this. You'll be updated very frequently. You have WhatsApp groups. You have emails coming over. Next slide, please. PDUs, as I already said, reminder to renew your memberships.